Okay, so we have just the UI part set up where we have our like form kind of almost ready to go. You can hide it and we can toggle it. I might want to like change this button so it doesn't say edit me, or like maybe it says cancel edit. Just do that so it's a little less confusing. So right here, I could use that show form. So if show form is true, that means it's showing it. So I want to say like something like cancel edit. And if it's not, then I can say edit. So just kind of conditionally saying what this button should say might make it a little more clear. So get items, hit edit. And now with the form showing, I can like have a way to cancel it. Now it would probably be nicer to have the cancel edit button in here, but that would require like passing some props. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now. Okay, so let's go back to our item form. Or sorry, what was it? Is this the right one? Oh, sorry, it was an item. That's what we just added. So now what I need to do, and at least this is what you were talking about, is that update. I kind of need to start working on like the update. So let's just kind of keep it how we've been doing and do this in our app.js. And let's just create this const update item function. And for now, I just trying to like break this into like a small chunk of work. All I want to try to get done is just successfully log this item. Like I want to pass this function down to where it goes. So when I hit the submit, I actually see this thing being logged to the console. So I take this update item function, and where do I need to throw this?
You need to pass it down in items as a prop.
Yeah, because it's similar with what we did. Remember, like delete item. That's where the delete buttons within all of our items. So we have to like take that function and pass it through items. And then in our items, now we get that update item prop. And then I can pass that down to the item component. And then in my item function, or yes, I keep on going to the wrong. Yeah, here. So now when I do, now here, I need to actually pass this one to the form. Because there's the form that has all my stuff. And I'm going to pull this update item from props. So this one I actually have like, this one even goes further than the delete function. So I have to like I'm passing this through I go through my app passes it to my items. My items passes it to my item. And then my item passes it to the item form. And then my item form, now I can do the handle submit of props dot update item. Now, how do I choose to, like, now I have two functions in here. I have one add and one update. What was the little trick I used to kind of determine which one I need to do?
Did you check to see if the ID was there?
Yeah. So if props.id, so if I have an ID, I know that's going to be an update, because if it has an ID, it's in the database. If it doesn't, then I'm going to add it to the database. And while I'm here, I'm also going to set category. All right. And also, I'm going to do one more thing here. If dot props dot error. And you try to tell me what's going on here. Why did I wrap this in an if statement with props, with not props dot error?
You don't want to make them blank if there's an error, right?
Yeah.
So if there's an error, it'll leave whatever the error is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If I don't have this, then it, and they fill something out, it's going to like reset the values. So this way I can, if there's an error, I'm just going to leave what they put in the form. If there's not an error, then I'll clear it out.
For the update item, do you want to set them back to blank?
I mean, really what I'd want to do is toggle the form automatically. But I think I would want to, I mean, that's a, let's say we only want to do it on the new, and then I could throw another and not props.id. Would that do it? I'm confusing myself now. So if we don't have an error or we don't have an ID, meaning that's create, then we could talk about it. And if it's edit, then we'll leave it. So if you wanted to, that's how you could do that. And let's try that out. Okay, so let's refresh. And then it saves something. Let's save this form. So let's test this out. Let's go back to my new. Oh, that did clear them out. Is this re-rendering? Oh wait, no, it didn't. Okay, there, it's not re-rendering. There's like a weird glitch here. So like if the values are not there, if there's an error, then it doesn't render. I feel like that's not getting, oh. And then if it is, let's do React. Ooh, this one. This might be a little more. That's not working. That's fine. That's a little bug. I'm just gonna leave that for now. Edit. Update. I think that's going through. Okay, update. There we go. So I'm at least, we'll look at this error later, why it's not clearing. Oh wait, did I give it bad data? I might have given it bad data. Okay, sorry, that is working. Ooh, that's really buggy. I'm going to remove this part. Am I screwing that up? Let's do this. If not, props.id. Sorry. So let's give it a name. Let's first give it invalid stuff. Then let's give it a invalid category. So that stays there. Let's give it a valid one. Yeah, that's not clearing it.
Is it
Okay.
because when it creates, it adds an ID to it? Oh no, you've removed that part. Never mind.
It might not be, yeah, remove that part. I think it might not be re-rendering that component, or it's not re-rendering this app. It should though, because I set errors to null. Yeah, we'll look at that one's not a huge one. I don't want to spend too much time on that. That one might get like a little more nuanced into like when React is rendering stuff. So that's an acceptable error for now. Or like we don't even really need that feature. So let's go back to our edits. So this is what we care about. So we have our edit. I click update. And there I'm app.js 23. I'm logging the thing I want to update with the updated values. And there it is, clearing the form. Okay. So in our app.js, now I have that like hard part of, passing this function down to my form and getting it back. So that part's done. Now it's just the Axios part. So I need to do let response equal Axios dot put, right? This is going to be an update to items / and then the item.id. And that's an async, so I need to make this asynchronous and then await for this. Now I'm going to go back to my routes and just like get rid of this resources items so we can go through these errors. Do a try and catch. So I'm on the front end, I'm doing a put request to items and then passing it the ID. I need to refresh this because I changed my React file. So yeah, now if I try to hit this, or I need to get items, if I try to do an edit, I'm going to get my 404. And actually, as I'm here, I see two, well, I can see right here, first of all, I'm going to localhost 3000 items undefined. And that's a 404 error. Because if I go check out the routes I have defined, localhost 3000 rels info routes, I don't have a put request to items, and then that undefines an error too, because I need the ID. So let's fix that. Let's get this ID showing up. So this is because when I call this update item function in my form, I'm not passing it an ID. So if it does have an ID, I need to add that in here. Oh wait, sorry, wrong place. So if I have props.id, we'll send that along with this function call. Because yeah, that item / undefined, that's always going to be an error because I need the ID in there. So I get items, edit, update. So there I have items. I'm trying to do a put request to item /10. That's better, but that's still a 404 because I have not defined that route. So if I was like a front end person, like I'd kind of be stuck here. I need to wait for my back end person to like finish doing this because we haven't done the update on the back end. So let's now pretend we're a back end person and we now have this task of doing update. So I'm going to do a put. It's going to follow Rails convention, put request to items, and then you got to give me the ID of the item. And that's going to go to my items controller to the update method. And then I'll do a patch as well.
Is that just to show us an example, or is it good to have both of those?
This would like, so if I do resources items, I'm just trying to do like what they do with resources items. If I do the resources items, it will generate these two. I'm not going to use it, so I don't really need it, but I'll just put it in there.
Is that just in case like whoever's working on the project, maybe one person's used to writing patch and the other is used to writing put? And so you might get both of those things.
Yeah, I mean, there is like I've kind of like forgot the distinction, like patch. There is a difference. I would need to like remind myself. I don't want to like say the difference because I'll probably mess it up. It's been a while, but there is a there's like a small like database difference between these two. So we're just going to use put. So but I just want to throw that one out there because this is does like a similar thing. Like one of them like goes through and just like replaces like the fields you say. The other one like goes through and like replaces the whole thing in the database. So it's for us, it's like a distinction that doesn't really matter right now. Cool. So now I can like go try this out. Hit OK. There's my error. Edit. Click update. I get an error. That's saying another 404. Let's check my server. Scroll all the way down. And there we go. So it's a 404, but this one's a little like different because now it's saying, the action update could not be found. Well, yeah, so we need to go to our items controller, define our update method. So we actually have to come tell this how to update it. And I could do something similar to my create. I'm just going to do, I need to find my item. So I find my item with the params ID. And then I try to update my item right here. And then I can use my sanitizer. Update and item params. So that's going to require that item's going to be there, and it's only going to allow name, description, and category. So I still don't have a way to update likes. But maybe we'll create like a custom update for that one. Because this is like, I want to update the text. I shouldn't be able to like directly maybe update the likes. What I'm going to have is maybe like a button that says like. We'll have like a specific route to update a like. When you think about like, yeah, any other like Facebook or Twitter, you don't hit update and you don't have like an option to update the likes. You update a like by pressing the button. So let's see if this is working. Refresh this. Name. Oh, get items. Edit. I'm going to update. All right, there's my error. I'm getting a 400 bad request. So it's not the 422, it's a different one. It's a 400. But let's look in here. Param is missing, or the value is empty item. So I'm missing the item param. See, when I'm sending my parameters, I'm just sending the ID 10. Well, that is now actually a front end problem. That's why it's a 400 error. But it's not a 422. It's like the values were right. What I forgot to do in my app.js when I did my put request is I actually forgot to send it the item. So with post and put, you need to send the front end. On the front end, you need to send the data. That's how I can do that. Just add that as my second argument to this function. But as you're getting these errors, check your servers, check your console. Those are really going to help you out. Let's do X, bang, 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 update. Cool. Now, instead of a 400 error, I'm getting a 500 error. Once again, should probably go check my server. Undefined local variable or method item. Did you mean at item? Items controller line 27. Oh, that's telling me exactly where I need to go start looking. Line 27. Update render JSON item. Yes, it's called at item. So that probably saved to my database. It actually did save, it just didn't properly render back that JSON. And something I should add to my front end to kind of test it out on my front end in my update function is just to console.log the response. Edit. Let's put some bangs in front of here. And there we go. There's the thing coming back. It has the updated value. If I didn't log it, in my network, where is, oh yeah, I can come down here and I can find my calls. So you can sometimes try to find your data here in the network tab. Update. Let's see if we can find the actual HTTP call. Is it this one? Yeah. See, there's my put request to /9, and there's actually the response. But I'm also logging it. It's right there. So we're saving it to the database. But now we need our UI to update. So let's do that. So if we get here, we see that the res.data, that is the updated object. So now I just need to go through my items. So we can do something like this. Let new items equals, let's go through all my items and map over them. Go through each one. Does the item.id equal, I can use the res.data.id or I can use the item that was passed. They're going to be the same. If these do match, let's return the item. If not, let's return the thing we're iterating over. Oh, and maybe this, I could use like res.data. This one would actually be the one you would want to use. If there's, I mean, there's a small distinction. This one actually is going to maybe have the updated at time, which you might be using. That would be the one difference between the res.data and item. I think for our purposes, it really doesn't matter. So either one's fine. And then we can set items to new items. Refresh this. Get items, edit. Let's remove those bangs. Update, and then they're gone from the UI. Yes, something. Okay, so this is kind of like, I think this is like a good level of getting this part done. So before I move on, are there any questions on the update? Maybe we do want to try to toggle this form once it's done, once it's successful. Should we try doing that? Okay. So let's kind of say it here, like, because this is the point in the code, here is where I want to like close the edit form, right? After update item, when it's been set, it's been successful. I want to just magically have that go away. But my item form is in my item. Like, it's that show form is right here. Now we can't really pass like props up. We can't unless we get into like context. Eventually what we're going to do is we're going to create like this global store that has all of our state and all of our ways to clear the state, and then we can just like pass it to wherever we want. So this actually might be a little difficult with how we've set this up. Let me think here. me see, item form. Update item. Yeah, this is going to be a pain. We're going to have to refactor this quite a bit to make this work. Um, let me think. Yeah, we'd have to make this work, we'd actually have to move our update function, our Axios, we'd have to move our Axios call here. Let's maybe, which would be, we'd have to do a lot of rework for that. I'm going to make another form. So let's not worry about the toggle. I don't want to get into that because we would have to kind of change up our code quite a bit. I just kind of want to leave it as is. But I do want to look at maybe another way we could do an update. That might be easier. Let's just create another file. Let's just call this edit form.js or edit.js. So let's import React from React. Let's edit. It's going to take props. And let's do return div h1 edit. So let's do another button. So I'm going to go back to my item and do another button on here. Doesn't like that. Oh. I'm kind of winging this, but let's do it. So refresh. I should now have another button that just says edit. It's not going to do anything. But what I want to have happen is when this button's clicked, I just want to show like an edit form that just like kind of populates everything. Like it just kind of, it's only going to be an edit form. So I'm going to do an on click on here. And what I want to do is in my app.js. So this is going to call, we're going to pass this like a prop that says like show main edit form. Let's call this toggle. And we're going to grab this from props. We're going to pass that the ID of the thing. I'll say edit full screen. So I'm going to define this toggle main edit form up in my app. So const. This is going to take an ID. Console.log the ID. Oh wait, we want to do a like button. I forgot we need to do a like button. Let's have this be the like button. I'm going to call this like. Sorry, let's just call this like. Forgot about the like. It's kind of the same, similar idea, but we'll just have this be a like button. So I'm going to rename this to like. Probably hate me for doing that, but. So like, I'm going to make this like prop. And I'm going to have an on click that's going to call this button. And we're just going to say like. And then in my app.js, I have this like button where we're just going to log the ID. And now I just need to pass this down. Just like I did with update and delete, like equals like. And then in my items, like, we can pass that down to my item. And then that's where my item finally gets it. So we grab our like from that, click. So now when I click the like button, it should show the ID. Sorry, I completely forgot about doing the like. Get items. So if I inspect, if I click like, it's logging the ID of the thing I want to like. See, I feel like this is like the hardest part about this is passing the props. It's the most confusing because it's like the mental gymnastics. But now that I have that done, it's like, yay, now I have the ID of the thing I want to like. So now I can do, I'm not gonna do it. Let's do try catch error. Well, I need an API call, but it's not set up, right? We haven't done this. So I'm like ready to go right here, but I need the backend. So let's do the backend really quick. So first I need to define a route for this. So this would be like a put items ID, I don't know, like, just kind of making that up. Go to items. I'm definitely going to need the ID of the item, and then I'll just call this method like, and then that will go to the items to the like method. So now I can go to my items controller, go define this like method. Should probably put this in a before action since I'm copying and pasting this a lot, but let's find the item. And let's just say at item dot likes. We could say like, plus equals 1. And then we could say like at item dot update. Probably don't need to like check this or like sanitize it. This should just update. And then render JSON items or at item. Okay, so there's that. Thinking that should work. Now I can go back to like the app.js and now, because now I have that backend part work functional maybe. I need to make this async. Let res equal await. Axios.put. I labeled this as items and then I said, hey, give me the ID. And then to like. And then let's just console.log the response. Or I mean, we can do something. I mean, this is like very similar to what we did in the update item. You can just paste that there. New items, item.map. Go through each of the one. Does it match the, I need to change this. Does it match the ID that was passed? If it does, let's return the response.data. Because this one's not actually getting past the item object, it's just getting past an ID. So this one I do need to use the response.data to be the thing to be replaced. Or I could do something like this. I could spread out over I and do likes. No, I got likes +1. But I think res.data is a little more clear. And I could do that res. Oh, we'll just see that. Okay, so let's refresh that. Get my items like. So there's my server error. Wasn't really expecting that, but let's check it out. Wrong number of arguments. Given, so line 37, what it's saying, it's expecting one argument, but I didn't give it any. So that's line 37. I think I know what I did. Items controller. Oh my gosh. I can't find it. Item controller. Line 37. I called update. Update needs a parameter, like needs the key value pairs, like the hash to update it. I'm updating it right here. Like I'm changing the like value right here. I don't want to update it. I want to save it to the database. It's a weird distinct update. Actually, like it takes parameters and then it'll change it in the database. But save will just save it. So here I'm changing it. I'll save it and we'll render our JSON. So since I changed my backend, I shouldn't need to like refresh. Now when I click like, now the likes are going up. There we go. I'm going to do a get add. and a commit. Are there any questions? So I would say for your homework, do all the CRUD, try to get all the CRUD actions done for like that one model. If you're ahead, if you feel like you've gotten that done, you can kind of do some of the bonus objectives. Tomorrow's just essentially going to be a review. We'll look more at kind of probably just maybe just restart or do a whole nother model and do some CRUD actions just to see this flow again. And then like the homework for the weekend, it's either going to be like finishing up the CRUD actions for your homework, or you could like add another model to your homework and start doing CRUD actions on that. You could try doing maybe even like a has many, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Any questions? I think we can end right now if you want. Y'all seem probably pretty fried. Yeah, let's go ahead and call it good. Actually, this is the first day. I feel like this cohort we ended at 12:30. So yeah, the first 2-3 weeks we generally go longer, and then we'll probably start ending at like 12:30 more often, but 12:45. But yeah, that is up on GitHub. That is all I have.